Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I request Mr. Patnaik to come and make the opening remarks.
Her Holiness Sri Mataji, Sir CP, Honorable Cabinet Secretary, Mrs. Kumar, Mrs. Ghosh, my seniors, colleagues, friends, and all members of my Sahaja Yoga family. We have gathered here today to get the blessings from Sri Mataji, who will show us the way to fight the stress and tension that is prevailing in our life. This is a unique program. Earlier, Sri Mataji had a similar program in Bombay, and it was very much appreciated, and it was very useful for bureaucrats like us. We are now living in the era of knowledge, where speed is the essence of life. The Darwinian theory of survival of the fittest was never so true as it is today. We have to continuously run to remain where we are. That creates friction, pressure, and tension in our life. Sri Mataji, in her beautiful words, will tell you how the subtle inner system gets affected by the chaotic outer world and how it affects our health, our working, and our general view towards life. We know cases of senior bureaucrats in their 40s getting heart attack and succumbing to it. It has happened in Delhi itself and elsewhere in the country. Whether it is the job itself, the interference from outside, transfer, posting, it can be anything besides the usual tensions of life. We are fortunate to have amongst us Sir CP, who has been a career bureaucrat like us and has seen both the worlds, the world of a bureaucrat and the world of Sahaja Yoga. Who can be more suited to address us than Sir CP? And of course, Her Holiness Mataji is amongst us. She will tell us in detail how Sahaja Yoga will help us in facing the tension and pressures in our career. I will not take much of your time. Now I request Mrs. Ghosh, who is the General Secretary of IAS Wives Association, to come here and continue the proceedings.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I request the President of our association, Mrs. Pratima Kumar, to present garlands and flowers to Her Holiness Shri Mataji, Shri Nirmal Devi, and flowers to Sir C.P. Srivastav. Mrs. Rama Patnaik will now present flowers to the office bearers of the association. Our IASOA, that is the Indian Administrative Service Officers' Wives Association, is a welfare organization set up mainly to promote welfare activities and to be a forum for discussion of topical issues. We do try to cater to a wide range of interests among our members, to arrange talks and demonstrations and encourage social work. Many of you must be knowing about the Sanskriti school run by the Civil Services Society with which we are associated. We hope to do much more by way of social work. That was briefly about our association. Now to come to the event of this evening. Her Holiness Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi was born on 21st March 1923 at Chhindwara, Madhya Pradesh. She is the daughter of late Shri P.K. Salve, who was a great freedom fighter. He was a member of the Constituent Assembly and the Mayor of Nagpur. Her mother was a mathematics scholar and a freedom fighter too. She is the wife of Sir C.P. Srivastav, a member of the Indian Administrative Service, about whom I will be speaking in detail later. Her Holiness Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi has been a spiritual personality since birth and has inherited patriotism from her family. She studied in a medical college and participated in the freedom movement. She worked with Mahatma Gandhi in his ashram in her childhood. The late Shri Lal Bahadur Shastri recognized Shri Mataji and sought her advice many times when Sir C.P. Srivastav was secretary to the late Shri Shastri. For the last 29 years, Shri Mataji has been working relentlessly for the emancipation, upliftment, and benefit of the entire human community. Shri Mataji has been doing basic and fundamental work of spirituality by awakening Kundalini power in human beings and Sahasrara individually and also en masse, and thus improving one's physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual situation. And simultaneously, the improvement reflects at the collective level of our society and the nation. Shri Mataji will be addressing us in detail about Sahaj Yoga and specifically about stress and tension management through Sahaj Yoga. She has started various hospitals and schools based on Sahaj methods, which includes Sahaj Hospital at Varshi, Mumbai, where thousands of patients of chronic diseases have been cured, and schools at Dharamshala, Himachal Pradesh, and in Rome. She has founded a music academy in Nagpur for teaching Indian classical music, dance, and art. She has also started a home for destitute women and street urchins and an NGO to rehabilitate them in Noida, Uttar Pradesh. Shri Mataji has been recognized worldwide by several countries and prestigious institutions for her selfless work and for the powerful results of her spiritual teachings. Due to paucity of time, I will mention only a few. In 1992, she was appointed honorary member of the Presidium of Petrovskaya Academy of Art and Science in Russia, Einstein being the recipient of such an honor in the past. In 1995, the Romanian Ecological University awarded a degree of doctorate in cognitive sciences to her. And the same year, she was invited to speak at the International Women's Conference in Beijing. Her name was proposed as a candidate for the Nobel Peace Prize in 1996. In 1997, her humanitarian work was recognized in a proclamation by the United States of America Congress, which was submitted to the congressional records. Sir C.P. Srivastav was born in 1920 in Uttar Pradesh. He was married to Shri Mataji in 1947 in Delhi. He belongs to the 1947 batch of the IAS, and besides several other posts, he worked as secretary to the Prime Minister, late Shri Lal Bahadur Shastri. He also worked as chairman cum managing director of the Shipping Corporation of India and was elected for 4 consecutive terms, that is 16 years, to be the Secretary General of the United Nations International Maritime Organization. He is the founder chancellor of the World Maritime University, Sweden. Among various awards and honors, Sir C.P. Srivastav was awarded the Padma Bhushan in 1972. He received decorations from more than 30 nations. One of these distinguished decorations includes the knighthood of the highest order from the Queen of England, the first Indian to receive such an award after India's independence. He is the author of a book on the late Shri Lal Bahadur Shastri titled A Life of Truth in Politics. Another of his books on corruption is currently under print. I now request Sir C.P. Srivastav to address the gathering. Please.
Madam President, distinguished Cabinet Secretary Shri Prabhat Kumar Ji, distinguished ladies on the dais, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It's a great honor to be asked to say a few words on this very unique occasion. And I'm most grateful to you, ma'am, for the very kind words in which you have introduced me. To talk about Sahaj Yoga, I must first tell you how I got into it, because that I think would be of interest to some of you in any case. As has been mentioned already, we got married 53 years ago, and we completed 53 years yesterday. Today we are beginning the 54th. Now, during this time, for 29 years, we have been dealing with Sahaj Yoga and various aspects in our own way. When we got married, I made a very good bargain. I told my wife, I said, I'll only deal with official matters, the rest is all yours. Children, any, family, household, that's all yours. Any transfers, you manage. I'll only deal with my official work. And she maintained that throughout our life. In other words, I have absolutely nothing to do with the upbringing of our children or running the family or any household affairs. Now, that meant that I could be very busy with my work. A development took place in 1970. Until then, she was devoting herself to the family responsibilities. But in 1970, sometime in the month of May, she one day told me, rather somberly, she said she had decided to devote her time now to Sahaj Yoga. So I asked, what was that? Then she explained that she wanted to assist men and women to have a unique spiritual experience through which they could get transformed and become really good, chaste, moral, honest human beings. I asked, do you really believe that you can do so? She said, yes, she can help men and women to raise their kundalini, which is their power, and then the result follows. I assure you, ladies and gentlemen, to use an American cliche, I didn't quite buy that. I said, are you sure you can do that? Because I had dealt with many persons during my career, and I don't think I can say that I was able to transform even a single person. How could she do all this? I didn't quite understand what she meant. Anyway, I said, of course, if you want to do it, by all means. But the point I want to make now is that she began to devote herself to Sahaj Yoga without in any way diluting her responsibilities to the family. That was something additional that she was doing. She started to address small groups first, and then larger groups, and things developed. But as far as I was concerned, being a civil servant, a bureaucrat, trained not to accept anything until it's proved 3 times over, I was still very skeptical. So I kept watching from a distance, aloof, and things went on. And then a new development took place which changed me also. In 1973, I was elected, has been mentioned, as Secretary General of the United Nations International Maritime Organization. We went to London and took up residence in Surrey, just outside London. There was a house, lovely house, and my wife, we had some domestics also. We were living there. Then the day came when something was to happen. One day I returned late in the evening. My cook opened the door, let me in, and I went to the drawing room of the house, where normally my wife would be waiting for me. But instead of her, there I saw a young man, white-skinned, sitting on the sofa and reading a newspaper. And I wonder whether there's something wrong, because I had no information that any guest was to arrive. But anyway, I waited for a moment, then looked at him again, and found that he was not only sitting there, he was very much there, but he was wearing my own clothes, my kurta and pajama. So I said, well, there's something seriously wrong with me. I must check. So I receded, went to the kitchen where my wife was giving instructions to the cook, and said, please tell me, do I see what I see? So she said, yes, very much. And then she explained to me, she said, you know what happened? She had gone that day to London, to Piccadilly Circus, and there she saw a young man lying, uncared for, obviously very sick, near the fountain. So she's a very compassionate person. I've known that ever since. She went over and asked what the matter was. And this boy said he didn't have anyone to look after him. He was living rough, as they say in London. And he was very sick, jaundice, drugs, and so on. Now, only she could have done what she did. She said, okay, if no one to look after you, come along, come with me, hop into my car, I'll take you home. And so she brought him home. And having brought him home, he had to be given a bath, he was dirty. He didn't have any clothes, so what else except my clothes? So I understood then why I saw what I saw. Then I understood, I said, okay, I was happy about it, she wanted to help, why not? Then something began to happen. Now this young man, who was a drug addict, who had run away from his house, who was suffering from jaundice, he was given nothing but Sahaj Yoga treatment, meditation and Sahaj Yoga by my wife. And as time passed, as days passed, I began to see a change in that young man. He did not ask for any drugs. You know, drugs, if one is addicted, there's tremendous withdrawal problem. You cannot get away from it. He had given up drugs, and I asked him, he said, I just don't need any drugs. And so it went on. He gave up his alcohol and everything. And as weeks passed, he blossomed into a beautiful, handsome young man. And we found eventually that he was a trained engineer, an Australian who had run away from his country, who had come to UK and, got into wrong company. Now when I saw that, I said, yes, there is Sahaj Yoga. How else could this have happened? And believe me, That young man went back to his parents. Can you imagine the joy of his father and mother when they got back their lost son? Now that was an experience I can never forget. And that was the time when I understood what Sahaja Yoga meant. From then on, I have seen numerous persons and people come to her and say, you know, I heard about you and I thought of you, and then some voice inside me said, come and go and meet her. They came along, met her, and the same treatment, drugs went away again. And they were not ordinary people, some of them they were professionals, engineers, lawyers, doctors, and so on. And gradually this developed. And that is how, ladies and gentlemen, I became a convert to Sahaja Yoga. I have done nothing to promote it, that's her business. I was very busy with my job. But what she has done is to create a totally new brand of humanity. If you meet these people, you'll be amazed how balanced they are. They never talk in any high tone. They love each other. They're like brothers and sisters. You leave them together, there are no problems at all. I'll give you an instance. We live in Italy during summer months, and once I was walking along, and an Italian stopped me on the way, and he said, in Italian, there was someone to explain to me, he said, you know, your people are very good. I said, who are my people? He said, you know, these people who come 1,000 each month to meet her. I said, what do you mean by saying they're very good? He said, you know, that 1,000 people come, there's a little river, by the river they sit and soak their feet, which is one of the requirements of Sahaja Yoga, quietly, decently, nicely. They gather together in the evening, have music programs and so on. There never is a problem. He said, if 15 of my people gather together, there'll be rioting. So this is what Sahaja Yoga does. That is what they are. It's a completely new brand. And then it's open to everybody. Her followers are now in 80 countries. And there are Hindus, many, Muslims, 2,000 in Turkey, 3,000 in Benin. There are Christians, Catholics, Protestants, Sikhs, every religion. Because what she has done is she has raised this question of evolution to a higher level, above religion. Religion divides. I am a Hindu, you are a Muslim, so on and so forth. She says every human being is a human being first. And there's Kundalini in him, you awaken it, and then he rises to a higher level of evolution. And the rest follows. So this is what she has been doing. There's all that I can tell you. And some people say that if I have lived up to this age of 80, it is only because of her and Sahaja Yoga. I'm sure that's true. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Madam President, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I thought I should just briefly explain to you what Sahaja Yoga has done to me and how she has spread Sahaja Yoga. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Srivastav. I now request Her Holiness Sri Mataji to enlighten this august gathering.
I bow to all the seekers of truth. Today, as they say, is a Ghor Kali Yuga, and all sorts of horrible things we can see, hear, read in the newspapers. It's a fact that it's a very bad times we are passing. Also we find very low-graded people, we can call them of very low value system. But it was also predicted long time back that at this time only the people who are seeking the truth in the hills and dales, Himalayas, all kinds of forgotten places will find the truth. It's already described by many great astrologers, also by saints. So at this time, we are placed in a very fortunate circumstances. I must say I have a great love for all the people who are in the IAS and IPS and all civil services, because I know what one has to go through. It's a life of great turmoil and sacrifice, also for the wife. But I always felt that this is like a soldier fighting in the war. We are here to build up this country. My husband was first in the foreign service. I had never heard of services and all that, so I said, now what's that for foreign services? But I said, I'm not going to go to any foreign country. Just now we have got freedom and we have to work. We have to work out many things for this country. Not only that, but I realize that civil service is the spinal cord of this country. It has to bear all the brunt, all the troubles, all the burdens. At the same time, it has a great responsibility to build this country. And that's why I put my, I should say, all effort that my husband gets elected to IAS. And somehow or other, we lost a lot of money, everything. It's all right, I said. I can live with anything. But to live in the foreign countries and wasting your energy there, it's time now for us here to live. And I think this patriotism is the only thing by which we can live doing our civil service, understanding our responsibility, and also that we are the mainstay of the government of this country, which is, though run by parties after parties. Life I learned where women have to be extremely forbearing, sacrificing, and always very much keeping happy. It's a question of why are we here in this service? We are special people, no doubt. You have special powers, no doubt. But without misusing the powers, what are you? Nothing. If you misuse it, then it's not proper. And if you don't use it, you are powerless. This is really the situation. But the enjoyment and the happiness and the satisfaction comes from the fact that you are working for your country. So this patriotism, which I imbibed from my parents also, and also Mahatma Gandhi, I felt that we are duty bound to work out in such a manner that every one of us do something which is very constructive and which is very helpful. But at the same time, while doing that, because of such a difficult situations, we develop all kinds of problems. And that's what I'm going to talk to you about The first thing is we see something, we react. This reaction can create two problems within us. One of conditioning or another of ego. Both are troublesome things and they make us very nervous and tense. The main thing is that the energy that is required for thinking, for futuristic planning, Sahaja Yoga comes from a center which creates the energy for the brain cells which are used all the time. We go on taxing our brain, using its energy all the time, but we don't know how it is replaced and replaced by one center. This center is looking after so many organs that this overflow of energy to the brain for this futuristic life can create lots of problems, not only tension, but lots of other problems also. Because this energy starts getting exhausted. And when we are in the struggle, this energy starts getting sort of finished, or maybe we develop a tremendous imbalance within ourselves. As I don't know if they have put up the photograph of the Kundalini, yes. You can see here very clearly that our autonomous nervous system is in three channels. And either we can go to the right or to the left. But in the center we cannot move. Right and left. If you are too much futuristic, if you think too much, if you are working out too much, then this right side develops. And this is a very, very important thing to understand, that we start losing the balance. The first thing that happens to a person like that he develops a very bad liver. His liver goes out of order because his center looks after the liver. Now, the heat of the liver, when it is created, starts rising. So, we might develop asthma, very serious type of asthma. And they say it's not incurable, but it is curable. If you can balance the person, it can be easily cured. This asthma, then, if it doesn't happen, then this heat goes towards the heart. In childhood, if you are born with a bad heart or anything, then one can understand. But if there's a boy, say, 21, 22 years of age, who plays tennis and also drinks a lot and all that, he gets a fatal heart attack, very fatal, and he dies. But if it doesn't work out that way, gradually it starts moving towards a massive heart attack. It could be for anyone at any age, but especially as the old age starts, it can really show its results. So, this is a common disease we have, that our heart is in a trouble. Then you'll try a pacemaker, this thing, that. Instead of that, if you take to Sahaja Yoga, you don't have to worry about your heart. It would be excellent. Then another thing that can happen to you, on the brain side, that if right side is too much, then our left side brain gets affected and we get paraplegia, by which our hand can become absolutely dead. Also, leg can become dead. But can be a serious paralysis, which can affect all the right side, right from the mouth to the head, all this area, and also hands, legs, everything becomes paralyzed. So this is another thing which is awaiting such people who don't care for balancing themselves. So these are all serious diseases, I should say, of the upper part of the body. In the lower part of the body, this heat passes towards the pancreas. So pancreas, you get diabetes, then it goes little lower, and in the spleen you can get even blood cancer. Sahaja Yoga has cured, definitely, blood cancer, can be cured. Then it can even affect the kidneys. Kidneys can be very badly affected and you might develop kidney troubles. You can try transplantation, but doesn't help much. Then it comes to your stomach where you get constipated and always in anger, temper. All these things happen to the right-sided person that he can't help it because he's so much busy with his planning and with everything that his brain has no rest, and so he gets irritated when he says something not according to his own desire or his own plans. With all these things happen, this right side problem, I think, is a very serious problem which all of us are facing. Now it comes, as I told you, from our reactions. So our reactions are because of our mind. Now if you have a mind that reacts, then how to stop this mind from reacting? Einstein has already told that when he was looking for the theory that he wanted to produce of relativity, he got so tired doing it, went into garden, started playing with the soap bubbles. And suddenly he says, from somewhere unknown, the whole thing, the whole scientific explanation came into his mind. That he called as a torsion area. We all have that torsion area, the subtle energy that surrounds us, which looks after us. I call it the divine love that helps us in every way to balance ourselves, to enrich ourselves, and to give the absolute knowledge. Not relative knowledge, but absolute knowledge. So this is the Jnana Marga we are talking about, of the absolute knowledge. Now this torsion area is a wonderful thing because this Kundalini, when she rises, she not only nourishes all the 6 centers, enlightens them and integrates them, but also connects you to this torsion area of Einstein. Suddenly, you are amazed at yourself how it has happened, that you get so many solutions of problems which are not solved. Your temperament changes. You are so relaxed. That means you develop that witness state because now you go beyond your mind. You don't react, you see. You just see, watch, and it's surprisingly your attention becomes extremely powerful. You have all these things within you. Just think that we have to have, say, some light. It has to be connected. I am speaking here, this instrument has to be connected to the mains. Otherwise, it is useless. In the same way, we are to be connected. We have to decide that we should be connected to that divine power. Once you are connected to that divine power, it's such a change takes place within you. First of all, your hands start speaking. It is written in the Quran that at the time of resurrection, Qiyamah, your hands will speak. So I say I'll only accept Muslims whose hands are speaking. Means on your hands, on these 5 fingers, here and here, 7 places, you can feel your centers. Then you can feel the centers of other, because you become a collective being. Who is the other? You can feel everyone on your fingertips. A person may look all right, normal to you, but you realize, no, he's not. Something very serious about that person. On the fingertips you can feel it, what's wrong with that person. Now if you somehow or other master this art, at the most you take 1 month. If you do it, you can raise others' Kundalini. That's how, as they say, the Sahaja Yoga has spread in 86 countries. It has spread, no doubt. It has spread in 86 countries, but I have not been to all these countries. I have not visited all these countries. I might have gone to about, say, 20 countries at the most. But people who got realization in these countries, they went down to these places and gave realizations to others. Now imagine a country called Benin in Africa, has got 7,000 Sahajogis. They were all Muslims and they all have got realization. That doesn't mean that you are no more a Muslim or a Hindu. You are that, but you know the essence of it. So you respect every religion, you respect all the incarnations, because now you have the true knowledge about religion, about yourself, and about the whole universe. You can feel it on your fingertips, for example. Supposing a man comes, I would say that once when my husband was a city magistrate, two ladies came to me from the back door and they said, see, now these police people are putting us into trouble, we are good women, we have done nothing. I just felt their vibration. I told my husband that I think you people are doing some injustice to them, they are quite all right. So he said, don't interfere. I said, I'm not interfering, but I'll prove it to you that these girls are innocent and simple girls, and unnecessarily you people are thinking that they are bad women. So I went with them. That time, of course, we had only one car, so I went by rickshaw with them to that place where the man had written that they are bad girls. So I went and asked him, are these the two girls who are living in your high upper flat? Are these the girls who did like this? He said, not at all. These are very different, not these. Then I came and told him, see, I judge them from vibrations. And they cannot be bad girls. So sometimes also we punish people, we get angry with people who do not deserve that kind of a treatment because we don't know what they are. We also follow wrong paths, we get lost into so many things because we don't know what is the right path. Now with this happening of the Kundalini, of course, physically you are all right. Physically your problems are solved. Physically you don't have to bother. Actually it's hardly any trouble to cure people physically. We also have a hospital where they don't charge them anything except for the room where they have to live, and very good rooms also sometimes. The doctors also work free and work it out so well that so many people have been cured. We are getting people from all over the world, very highly placed people come there and they are getting cured. Now for that you don't have to go to the whole rigmarole of feeling what's wrong with them, putting them for diagnosis. In the diagnosis only the patient dies halfway. But this is only on the fingertips, you know what's wrong with the person. You need not tell that person what's wrong. You know how to cure it and how to work it out. Today only a friend of ours came to see me, much younger to me, looking so very old and haggard, and he said, I've got paralysis. I said, how? He was another one of the same kind, working too hard. And within, I said, 20 minutes or so after raising his Kundalini, his face became all right, his hands became all right. And he said, how? I can't walk without a stick. I said, all right, now you walk. We started walking. I've seen people running who come on wheelchairs. It's very surprising how it works. But for this, we must know this is the knowledge of our country. Not that others didn't know, they knew. But what in Bolivia, I was surprised Bolivia is so far out. People told me we know all about chakras, we know everything, but we don't know how to raise the Kundalini. And they knew the word Kundalini also. So I thought I must find out who has told you all this. Two saints came from India long time back. Maybe I thought Machindranath and Gorakhnath had gone everywhere. They went to Ukraine also. So they might have told them about this Kundalini and the awakening of the Kundalini. But they said, we don't know how to raise the Kundalini. Once you are entitled as a surgeon, you can raise the Kundalini of any person. You can cure any person. You can do whatever you want to do as far as the physical side is concerned. Even the mental side. I've seen the tension is more a mental side of human beings, where you get very tensed up, get very angry, annoyed, or you become extremely quiet and you don't know how to handle the situation. This also is the same reaction of your mind that works it out. But if you go beyond the mind, then you will be amazed. The ideas that they come to you are absolute. The solutions that come to you are absolutely perfect. And the people who are against you also become your friends. Those who are troubling you very much also become very, very sweet. It's a changing and transforming of human beings. The other day I had a newspaper gentleman, and his name was Mr. Abbas, all right. So he was extremely aggressive with me. He asked me funny question. He said, how did you know that you are divine? I said, how did you know that you are a human being? He looked at me. Then I said, see, because I would not react. I used to watch, I used to see, then I found out I am different from others. So I didn't try to show off this thing. Nobody wants to understand it that way. You have to prove it. That's the best way Sahaja Yoga can be told. So he said, but how can I get the proof? He said, I don't believe in any fundamentalism. All right, don't believe in any fundamentalism. Do you believe in yourself? Yes, yes, of course. And at that moment his Kundalini rise, just like this. So he said, ye kya ho raha hai? What's happening? How this cool breeze is flowing into my fingertips? How is it? I said, also feel it out of your fortunate Kundalini. And he was completely chill. He said, whatever I have asked you the question, I am not going to put it up. It's all nonsense. Hum bewakoof the. Now I have become a sensible man. You see, actually this Kundalini changes, really transforms him. Now they say that we have 6 enemies. Kama, Krodha, Mada, Matsara, Lobha, Moha. Only 6 there are, but nowadays I think there are more. But as it is accepted, there are 6 of them. So once you get connected with this divine power of love, all these things just drop out. They are useless. No jealousies, no competition, nothing. We have many people also in the foreign service, and they told us that people are very happy with us. I said, why? Because we are not competitive. They are all becoming ambassadors, this, that. But nobody is angry with us because we are not competitive. When the mind starts thinking of competition, she can go into any wrong alley, into any dark alley. Really can be very much a different person. But with this, you are in the center. You have a complete balance within yourself, and all the hankering, everything drops out. You don't hanker after things. You don't hanker after people. You don't hanker after great publicity or anything. You just automatically become so balanced, and you are not bothered as to what's happening and that you are not frightened. For example, if you are standing in the water, you are afraid of the waves, all right? But suppose you get into the boat, then you can even enjoy the waves. But supposing you learn how to swim, you can jump down and you can save people. This is how Sahaja Yoga works in a simple manner. As I've said, that I have tremendous concern for you people, always had, but because of my husband's strict rules, I could not touch his office people, I could not talk to them, I could not meet anyone who was even a peon, Devalunda IAS officer. He was very strict about it. I said, all right, I'll try some other areas. But now he has retired, luckily. Now I am free even to talk to you, surprisingly. Otherwise he would never allow me to talk to you people because he thought it's not proper. You must maintain a certain distance. So even in the parties and all these places, I was quite amused the way people used to discuss and talk about things, and I used to keep quiet. So they thought I don't even know English, or maybe I'm so quiet because perhaps maybe I'm good for nothing. Possible. But now all the same persons, those same ladies and gentlemen, are now doing meditation. Now for meditation, you don't have to hang yourself with anything. You don't have to have too much time. Even 10 minutes before sleeping you do meditation, you will feel so relaxed and so very absolutely, completely cleared out of your problems, cleared out of your thinking. Just relax. There's no thinking, which is thoughtless awareness. Has been already told to us by Jung. You know Jung, who was a disciple of Freud, whom he revolted against, and he talked about the mother energy. We Indians, you see, are Shakti Pujaris. Nowadays their Navratras are going on. But we have never understood the message of mother's love. It is the mother's love that works, I think, and you also become very motherly, very kind, very compassionate. How can a human being, I don't know, how can he be cruel to anyone who is suffering, who is in trouble, who is in poverty? The love that you have within yourself starts flowing just like an ocean, and you become extremely generous, and all the generous people I've seen are very much always looked after. I'll give an example of my father, who was a very generous man, very, very generous. And once what happened, he always used to say, never close the houses. We should not close our house. Always open the windows, open the doors. He said, if you tell him the thieves might come, he said, let them come. After all, they need something, but that's why they are coming. So he used to keep all the doors open. He was fond of music, so he had a big gramophone with a big horn-like thing. And one day one thief came, opened the door. Door was open only. He took away that gramophone. So next day he was sitting very seriously. So my mother said, now are you sorry for that? No, that I can buy. But I'm only sorry. This man seems to be connoisseur of music. He's taken away the gramophone. Now what will he play? He has not taken any records. So my mother said, all right, you advertise in the newspaper. The one who has taken the gramophone should please come and take the records so that he enjoys the gramophone. I mean, I've seen really very generous. And at the time when Gandhiji declared the war of independence, they not only went to jail, but they gave away everything that they had. We used to live in huge big houses, then we shifted to some sort of huts and things. We were enjoying. Because you see, the enjoyment was of our Rashtra Bhakti. And this has helped. That time Mahatma Gandhi was helped because that time the people were like that. Now today the thing is, it's coming from the West. Too much of this, too much of that. It's all right, there's nothing wrong, nothing wrong. It should come, we should prosper, our country should prosper, we should create more things, I agree there. But this hankering will go away. Now the hankering becomes the other way around. Like, what should I give to this lady? What should I do for this gentleman? I mean, the worry goes to the other side of it. What to do? What should I give that they won't feel right? Because sometimes, Sarkari Naukaras, they are very strict. So if you give them, they think I'm giving them a bribe. I said, it's not a bribe. I am just giving because I want to give you. So will you take it? With very great difficulty they take. But you see, is a way of expression of your love. And with this love, I tell you, you will be so very popular in your office, in your work, in the whole of the country. People will remember it, that this was the man who really looked after us, who has done so much for us. If you don't have a concern, you will be just worried about yourself and this thing. All the ladies also of the IAS, thank you very much for inviting me, but I would like to tell you that ladies have to help the husband. They should try to understand that their energy is the Shakti's energy, and they should give to men this energy so that they can work better. But sometimes I have funny experiences which I'll relate to you, which was very interesting. That first of all, I never know your seniorities, juniorities, anything. I don't know much of it. I don't understand. I came to Delhi when my husband came here to work for Shastriji. So we met in a party, a friend of mine who was from my college. So she asked me, "Arey, how are you here, Nirma?" I said, "My husband has come here." I said, "What is he doing?" I said, "He is a government servant. Everybody is a government servant here. But what is he doing?" I said, "I don't know that, but he's something here." "Where do you live?" First thing she asked. I said, "I live in Meenabad." "Ah, Meenabad. What is your husband doing? You could have got a much better husband. Why did you marry a man who takes you to Meenabad?" Baba, I didn't know Meenabad was that much. You see, because Shastriji, you see, asked us to come here, and there was no house, so they gave us Meenabad. I thought this was very bad to live in Meenabad, the way she was talking. Then she said, "All right, this gentleman who is coming, this tall gentleman, you know, he's very, very important. If somehow or other manage to talk to him, he'll get your husband a very good job and you'll get a very good house." And who comes there was my husband. Oh my God. She said, "You know him?" I said, "Yes." "How?" "He's my husband." After that, she didn't talk. She never said it to me. To know that they live in Meenabad is a bad thing itself, is quite a big knowledge about things, isn't it? That only people of this much pay live in Meenabad, they live in, it's really impossible. Even, don't know, a state officer knows this much, but the lady knew that Meenabad was not meant for an IAS officer. Can you imagine that? So these indulgences of the women is of no use. I am very happy to hear about this organization, that it is doing such a good constructive work. I was really very happy. I myself, he says I am a socialist because I always think of the social problems. Some or other, I am a socialist, all right, because it's a collective sense. And when I heard that these people are doing this kind of work, I said, amazing. I can't imagine. Those days, women used to talk of something else. They would never talk of any social. It was so difficult to make them understand social. Funny type of atmosphere was there. The Britishers had left their legacy on our heads, and we were quite enamored by them. For example, I would say that it was not for them to conceive of something higher or better. So I was the president of the blind, Friends of the Blind Society. And for that, they were going to have a program. And these blind were going to act. And the governor, Mr. Cherian, was to come. When he came, they wanted to know who will be sitting next to him. Being a chairman, of course, they would ask me to sit down. The rest started quarreling and fighting and discussing so much, I got such a fright. I thought, now take to humor, that's the best way to solve the problem. So I said, all right, we'll get a big plank on top of the governor's head, and you all sit like sparrows on that. Immediately all their anger vanished and they became all right. So what I'm saying is that now the quality of women have changed. You can see that very clearly. The quality has changed. And though you might think that they are rather self-centered or whatever you may think, but one thing I've noticed that they are social-minded. They read, they understand what's going on in this country. I would say these days our country is a very big turmoil. Very big turmoil. And all these things are going to help us to solve this problem. So many problems we can solve. Once some of these problems are solved, I'm sure we'll be one of the greatest countries. We have no dearth of talent, no dearth of talent. We have no dearth of hard work. Only yujad kastatra dullabha means there's no one. It's difficult to get a person who can put them to the yojana. And if such a person gets his self-realization, he's so self-confident, so peaceful within himself. He is not bothered as to what others are doing. And all this can change, transform you into a beautiful personality. You give up all your destructive habits. Absolutely. You just give up your destructive habits. I don't have to say give up. I never say. If I say that, half of people might leave me. But I've seen people overnight. In London, there were 12 people who had come who were taking drugs, they were drug addicts. They left their drugs overnight. Overnight. Can you imagine? I was amazed. How could they leave it overnight? Our problems of drugs, of all other things, we can solve them without any difficulty, and you are placed for that kind of a job. Your situation is very good because you have a responsibility, very great responsibility, and that responsibility has to be understood. If we do not understand our responsibility, we will not achieve it. But once you get your realization, you will become extremely responsible. And also you will not feel that responsibility on your head. You will feel extremely, absolutely relaxed. And such a person to meet, you are sometimes surprised. The face changes, the body changes, everything, the transformation takes place, and you are surprised. All this is within you. All this you have got it. All this is working out within you. The only thing we have to get our self-realization. This is a knowledge of our inner being, a very subtle knowledge. I pray and thank you very much, all the ladies also, for calling me here. This is a very unique experience I have, because I have never known that IS people could be so receptive to this kind of a subtle thing. But they are. In Bombay I was surprised. When I had this program in Bombay, now they are regularly going for meditation in a hall that they have. Surprising. How can they do it? I don't know. But they are to. The way they have received me, actually I used to always say that the Bombay IS people are very, very proud, I should say, very proud. They wouldn't look at you, they wouldn't see you. But I was surprised they have become so humble, so nice. I don't know why in Bombay they had developed this kind of a superiority complex or something. We had very bad reports about them. But suddenly they have changed so much, and in the same way you all should change. And you become so collective. It's not joint, it's collective. And you just think of helping each other and living that kind of a life. And all over the world we have brothers and sisters. Wherever you go, you may go anywhere, you'll find them waiting for you. They also come here. When they come here, they touch this motherland of ours. They touch this Bharat Bhumi, with their lips and kiss it. I said, why do you do it? Because it's a yoga bhumi. It's a special country. It's a yoga bhumi. Here we have got our realization. And you'll be amazed that this country is a yoga bhumi. Once I was traveling with my husband in the plane, and I told him, we have reached India. He said, how do you know? I see the vibrations all over. You can see. So we went to the pilot to verify, as usual, to verify what I was saying was correct or not. The pilot said, sir, we have. I said, see, this is our sir. This is spirituality. Everything that is written, we have to verify. Why some places are swambhus? How can you make it out? Anywhere you go, there's a temple. How do? You can feel it on your fingertips. Now you'll be surprised to know that Makkah has got a big stone, black stone. Muhammad Sahib said, don't worship any stone, because people used to make money out of making some statues and all. But this stone, he said, you should go round. That is the biggest thing for Muslim, to go around the stone. Now ask them, why do you go and worship the stone? They don't know. I know. Because in our Shastras it is written that it's a Makkeshwara Shiva. It is a Shiva called vibrations. I say it, the vibration starts from it. It's a Makkeshwara Shiva. It's a Shiva in the stone. It's the vibrations of the Shiva. And it's a fact. The other day I read a very nice article in Marathi that the Shiva was worshipped before Islamic religion came. But the way they were doing it, because they were going to all kinds of temples and rituals, too many rituals. And because of that ritualism, Muhammad Sahib said, don't worship the stone. But we have swambhus. We have really swambhus. But when you will go and verify with your vibration, you will know their swambhus. You all are capable of getting self-realization, all of it. Whatever must be your past doesn't matter. We have to be in the present. Past is finished, future doesn't exist. You will be in the present, and that's the reality, which you all can feel the vibrations. To bother him all his life. So, one should not have any such ideas that I have done this wrong, how can I get realization? This is unnecessary. You should never think that you are guilty. If you were, you would have been in the jail. You would not have been here. So, don't think you are guilty. Don't judge yourself. You don't know yourself. It is to know yourself you have to do this. And don't judge. You must have great respect and love for yourself. And I am sure it will work out tonight as desired by these people. But those who don't want to have self-realization, I would say they can go. Because I don't want them to disturb others. Supposing if you don't want, it cannot be forced. It has to be asked for. You cannot force it onto anyone. You cannot pay for it. You cannot do anything about it. But if the Kundalini doesn't rise, it's all right. We'll have a center where you can go and get it corrected. Maybe something wrong in the chakras which you do not know, and they will find out. So it will take hardly any time. Hardly any time. Have faith in yourself. First of all, have faith in yourself, and this will work out. First, I think to forgive others is difficult. You see, the Western people, they cannot forgive themselves. And for Indians, the other way around. They cannot forgive others. You see, I don't know why. There is this kind of a different, attitude. But we should forgive ourselves also. God has created you as human being, not to be ruined like this, not to be shattered like this, but to achieve your glory. Realization. You have to just put your hands towards me like this. I think if you have shoes, you have to take it out. Helps us a lot. We are sitting in Delhi, we are here in this Bharat Bhumi, in this Yoga Bhumi. It works very fast. In this country, it works very fast. And also with you people, because you love this country very much, you work so hard for this country. So it works very fast. So don't have any apprehensions. Just put your both the hands like this. Again, I would request you must forgive yourself and others. That's very important, because if you don't do that, then your center here, we call the Vishuddhi Chakra, will be blocked. I mean, the guilt part is will be blocked, and if you don't forgive, then this Agya Chakra will be blocked. Please put your hands like this, little lower. Now, first we'll start feeling some cool or hot breeze on your fingertips and also on your thumb. Then in the palm, you start feeling a cool or a hot breeze. Some people start thinking that this air conditioning, it has nothing to do with air conditioning. So please have faith in yourself. Now, please put right hand towards me and put down your head a little and feel with your left hand on top of your fontanelle bone area, which was called as talu. If there's a cool or a hot breeze coming out. Now please put down your heads a little and see for yourself. Move your hand. It might be coming very far, maybe very close, but don't put your hand on top, but above. Just move, please. Move it on the sides and see for yourself that there's a cool or a hot breeze like coming. It is hot means you have not forgiven. It means only that you have to really say, I forgive. You don't have to do anything except you have to say in your heart, I forgive everyone. That's a very great quality. Now please put your left hand towards me and see with your right hand. Again bend your head please and see for yourself if there's a cool or a hot breeze coming out of your head. Just see for yourself. Now, please put your right hand again. Right hand is more. So put the right hand like this and see for yourself. Now again put both the hands towards you. And don't think, just don't think. You can stop thinking, even for a second. That's very good. This is called as nirvicharita. Then comes a stage, you become nirvikalpa. When there is no doubt in your head, you become into doubtless awareness, where you're sure you got it, you're sure you can do everything. That is the stage one has to rise. Now all those who have felt on their fingertips a cool or a hot breeze, or out of the fontanelle bone area, cool or a hot breeze, please raise both your hands. Most of you have got it. Most of you have got it. Congratulations. And those who haven't got will also get it. If you have to just little bit join one of the centers that we have, or if you want, any one of them can come and give you realization. I don't think there is any hindrance in that. But sometimes it happens that she doesn't rise. She is your mother, individual mother. She doesn't have any other child. This Kundalini knows everything about you. She knows your aspirations, she knows your past, she knows everything. Also she knows what physical problems you have. She's very kind. As your mother, when she gave you the birth, she took up all the labor pains upon herself. It is the Kundalini that out of her love, that motherly love, she does everything. And then it just works. It works because that's what you are in for. The time has come for all of us to be transformed, to get into a new generation of beautiful people. It's a wonderful time. If I've done anything so far, is this, that I found out a way for collective awakening. That's the only work I've done. Otherwise it was already there. Nath Panthis used to do it. It was quite a well-known thing among people. But what I've done is I have tried to find out what are the permutations and combinations of problems in the human beings and why should they all get it. This collective happening has been a great blessing all over the world. Again, I would like to thank you very much. Very kind of you that you had invited me here. If you have any questions also, if you can spare some time, I would like to know if you have any questions.
If you have any questions to ask, do you have any questions to ask?
I wanted to ask a question, Madam. I wanted to know, do you have to have a certain posture for meditation?
उनको लाउडस्पीकर अब आ जाता, एक लाउडस्पीकर
Mataji, do you have to have a certain posture for meditation, or you can meditate anywhere?
क्या करें?
मेडिटेशन के लिए कोई पॉस्चर चाहिए मेडिटेशन के लिए कोई
क्या म्हणता?
Any specific posture?
हाँ?
Any specific posture for meditation?
क्या म्हणता?
Any posture?
काय केलं?
जे काही
कोई तरीके से बैठने की जरूरत है?
ठराविक
तरीके
पद्धतीनेच बसलं पाहिजे का? बसायची पद्धत काही खास आहे का मेडिटेशनसाठी?
सुना है?
नहीं कोई नो स्पेशल पॉस्चर यू कैन
क्या
मेडिटेट
करें?
किस तरह से मेडिटेट करें
नहीं हुआ हूँ.
नहीं करें
नहीं।
मेडिटेट करें तो कैसे करें
काही स्पेसिफिक बसायची पद्धत आहे का मेडिटेशनसाठी?
हं?
मेडिटेशन करण्यासाठी काही स्पेसिफिक मेथड आहे का बसायची?
किती वेळ?
नाही, बसायची पद्धत.
No, there's nothing. There's no style, there's nothing. You can sit whichever way you like, you can sit on the chair, you can do, there's no style, nothing. I didn't understand your question, what you were saying. So I was asking even now. There's nothing like that. You see, you are beyond all these things now. Don't have to worry as to how you sit down, what you do, nothing of that. You sit any way you like. If you want, you can sit on the ground. If you want, you can sit on the chair, anyway. It's all over. Prashna samadhana. Didn't understand our question. माफ करिए, मुझे सवाल ही नहीं समझ में आ रहा था. हाँ, ये तो कोई प्रॉब्लम ही नहीं. आप निर्बंध हैं, आप समझिए, निर्बंध हैं. मस्त हुए फिर क्या बोले, है ना?
There are so many gurus nowadays. How does one, if I am convinced, how do I convince the others? If I would like someone to come to you, how do I convince them?
क्या करें?
गुरु इतने हैं कि गुरु बहुत से हैं ना, गुरु गुरु
लोग
बहुत से गुरु हैं, तमाम लोग और लोग हैं. तो कैसे कन्विंस करें कि आई शुड कम टू यू?
Not my company.
नहीं.
See how to convince others.
Don't have to convince. You see, there's no need to convince them. Because they'll see you as something special, very different. And they will ask you, how are you so peaceful? How are you so good? Don't have to tell them. Just they will see your character, your style, and they'll be so impressed by it. उसका वो लाउड स्पीकर ठीक नहीं, क्या करें? आता आणखी प्रश्न आहेत? Very positive questions. They are very, very positive. Because once you get it, you want others to get it. Because you find others are in trouble. We have one gentleman here who wants to sing a song for you. I hope you'll enjoy it. And I think song will soothe it down.
With the permission of Mataji, I'd like to make an announcement. While you entered the auditorium, a folder like this was distributed. It contains literature.
सर जी बनाया, हमको सर जी बनाया, ये बाद में गाना, और पहला हमें नहीं चाहिए. He's a musician who had no guru, who didn't learn any music. Somehow or other, after Sahaja Yoga, he developed the art of music from within. People become poets, all kinds of things happen. He is one of them who has achieved a great success in music. Without going to any guru, without learning anything, ABCs and all that.
And the other center is in Saptajang Enclave. Those who want to have further information and want to develop themselves, I suggest they can go to Saptajang Enclave center first. Or if they so wish, they can go to Nichishri area behind Kottavadu on Sundays.
तिला म्हटलं तर बदलून दे.
इन आँखों को मार, इन आँखों को मार, ऐसी रसाई दे, दर्पण जब भी देखूं, माँ तू ही तू दिखाई दे। जिसमें सूरत श्री माँ की आए नजर, जिसमें सूरत श्री माँ की आए नजर, अब मुझे ऐसा दर्पण नहीं चाहिए, अब मुझे ऐसा दर्पण नहीं चाहिए, जिसमें सूरत श्री माँ की आए नजर, जिसमें सूरत श्री माँ की आए नजर, अब मुझे ऐसा दर्पण नहीं चाहिए, अब मुझे ऐसा दर्पण नहीं चाहिए, गंद जिसमें भरी हो अहंकार की, गंद जिसमें भरी हो अहंकार की, वो दिखावे का टीका नहीं चाहिए, वो दिखावे का टीका नहीं चाहिए, जिसमें सूरत श्री माँ की आए नजर। छोड़कर इस ज़माने की रंगीनियाँ, आ गया हूँ माँ तेरे दरबार पर, छोड़कर इस ज़माने की रंगीनियाँ, आ गया हूँ माँ तेरे दरबार पर, सिर्फ भक्ति से, भक्ति से मतलब है मेरे लिए, सिर्फ भक्ति से मतलब है मेरे लिए, कोई दुनिया का बंधन नहीं चाहिए, कोई दुनिया का बंधन नहीं चाहिए, जिसमें सूरत श्री माँ की आए नजर। मैं जहाँ भी तुम्हें देखूँ नजर, मेरी आँखों को बख्शो रोशनी, मैं जहाँ भी तुम्हें देखूँ नजर, मेरी आँखों को बख्शो रोशनी, सिर्फ इसके सिवा, सिर्फ इसके सिवा और कुछ भी नहीं, सिर्फ इसके सिवा और कुछ भी नहीं, कोई जीवन का साधन नहीं चाहिए, कोई जीवन का साधन नहीं चाहिए, जिसमें सूरत मेरी माँ की आए नजर। मेरे गलबाग में तेरे सूखे चरण, फैसला कर लिया है समझ सोच कर, मेरे गलबाग में तेरे सूखे चरण, फैसला कर लिया है समझ सोच कर, सत्य की खातिर सत्य की खाक मिल जाए मेरे लिए, सत्य की खाक मिल जाए मेरे लिए। कोई दुनिया का कंचन नहीं चाहिए, झूठी दुनिया का कंचन नहीं चाहिए। गंद जिसमें भरी हो अहंकार की, गंद जिसमें भरी हो अहंकार की। वो दिखाने का टीका नहीं चाहिए, इसमें सूरज श्रीमान की आए। साधुओं ने जो पूछा तेरी माजरा, एक सहजी। साधुओं ने जो पूछा तेरी माजरा, एक सहजी। उन साधुओं से कहा शांति का, शांति का पुजारी मेरे लिए। दुष्ट लोगों का दर्शन नहीं चाहिए, दुष्ट लोगों का दर्शन नहीं चाहिए। जिसमें सूरज श्रीमान की आए, जिसमें सूरज श्रीमान की आए। अब मुझे ऐसा दर्पण नहीं चाहिए, अब मुझे ऐसा दर्पण नहीं चाहिए। गंद जिसमें, गंद जिसमें भरी हो अहंकार की। वो दिखाने का टीका नहीं चाहिए, जिसमें सूरज श्रीमान की आए, जिसमें सूरज श्रीमान की आए।
बगा दो।
रंगत है ऐसी चढ़ी, रंगत ऐसी चढ़ी, रंग तुम्हारा लेकर क्या से क्या हो गए हम, नाम तुम्हारा लेकर। रोतों को हंसा देती है माँ। श्री महाराज की बहुत बड़ी कृपा है, एक बार बस आके देखिए सब बदल जाए। रोतों को हंसा देती है माँ, सहजी बना देती है माँ। ऐसी लीला है इस आदि शक्ति माँ की, क्या से क्या बना देती है माँ। सहजी हमें बनाया, सहजी हमें बनाया, विक्रम नहीं तो क्या है। सहजी हमें बनाया, सहजी हमें बनाया, विक्रम नहीं तो क्या है। सहजी हमें बनाया, विक्रम नहीं तो क्या है। सहजी हमें बनाया, विक्रम नहीं तो क्या है। मेरा मर्तबा बढ़ाया, विक्रम नहीं तो क्या है। सहजी, सहजी हमें बनाया, जिक्र नहीं तो क्या है, सहजी हमें बनाया। दिया रहमतों का साया, दिया रहमतों का साया, ये गम नहीं तो क्या है, सहजी हमें बनाया। ये गम नहीं तो क्या है, सहजी हमें बनाया। मेरी नाम को बचाया, मेरी नाम को बचाया, ये करो नहीं तो क्या है, मेरी नाम को बचाया, मेरी नाम को बचाया, ये करो नहीं तो क्या है, सहजी हमें बनाया, ये करो नहीं तो क्या, मेरा नहीं तो क्या, सहजी 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 हमें बनाया, ये करो नहीं तो क्या है, सहजी हमें बनाया। मेरी जिंदगी के दामन पे बरस पड़ी बहारें, माँ तेरे प्यार ने हंसाया, तेरे प्यार ने हंसाया, ये करो नहीं तो क्या है, तेरे प्यार ने हंसाया, तेरे प्यार ने हंसाया, ये करो नहीं तो क्या है, सहजी हमें बनाया, ये करो नहीं तो क्या है, मेरा मर्तबा बढ़ाया, ये करो नहीं तो क्या है, सहजी हमें बनाया, ये करो नहीं तो क्या है, सहजी हमें बनाया। जिस जाना जिसने इच्छा की है उसने नहीं पाया है, जिस जाना किस जान लिया, बाकी बहे झुलमो, इच्छा की तो पा लिया, नहीं तो रह गए, ये भी समय होता है पाने का। जिस जाना किस जान लिया, जिस जाना किस जान लिया, जिस जाना किस जान लिया, बाकी भय छुड़ो, मैं भटक रह गया था, कहीं और मैं गया था, मुझे रास्ता दिखाया, ये करम नहीं तो क्या है, मुझे रास्ता दिखाया, मुझे रास्ता दिखाया, ये करम नहीं तो क्या है, सहजी हमें बनाया, ये करम नहीं तो क्या है, सहजी हमें बनाया, ये करम नहीं तो क्या है, मेरा मर्तबा बढ़ाया, ये करम नहीं तो क्या है, सहजी हमें बनाया, सहजी हमें बनाया, ये करम नहीं तो क्या है, सहजी हमें बनाया।
I wish we could go on and on with this evening, but like every good thing, even this occasion has to come to an end. So I request our Joint Secretary, Mrs. Rachna Rakesh, to propose the vote of thanks.
कला हाथ खुल रहा है आपका जबू, हाँ? इसको रखो, मेरे तो समझ ही आ रहा क्या करें, सुनाई दे रहा।
On behalf of the IAS Officers Wives Association, I would like to effusively thank Ma Nirmala Devi and Sir C.P. Srivastava for gracing this occasion. Thousands have benefited from the concept of Sahaj Yoga, a blessing from Shri Mataji to humanity. I am sure we will emerge as better human beings after imbibing her discourse and practicing Sahaj Yoga in our daily lives to relieve stress and tension. We hope, Mataji, that you will be able to spare some of your valuable time for us in the near future. Thank you very much. I would now request everyone to stand for Vande Mataram. Thank you.
बाहुबलधारिणीं नमामि ता
अगली बार मिलेंगे फिर। अच्छा है,